Okay, so here goes. Welcome back, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all your likes and subscribes and all your comments, which
and thank you for the questions.
Yeah, and all the questions in the comments that you left. This is now going to be our Q&A session for this 10,000 subscribers celebration. Yeah, so we're going to start off in categories, and we're going to try and mix things up a bit, and different locations and things, just to make it a bit less boring.
So they're looking at us too today.
So, from TemMV or TemV, My Playhouse and Vicky Mourinho, how did we meet? Basically, we met
at work.
Yeah, at work. It was a sewage works, actually. We
so
both
romantic.
We both worked for very big civil engineering companies, and Ange was a cost clerk, and then a QS, and I was a general foreman. So basically, I'd just throw all my paperwork at her every day for her to sort out. Bless her.
Still does the same now.
And yeah, things sort of continue from there, basically. And TemV, again, you also mentioned, you said, when did we get married? Or when we got married in Vegas, yeah?
Why?
Why did we get married in Vegas? And did Elvis perform the ceremony? Well, yep, we got married in Vegas because I'd previously been married. We didn't want all the fuss of inviting half the world to your wedding. We didn't really have the money, the funds for it either. Angie's mum had died, so she wanted, obviously, her mum a proper white wedding, if you like, in the UK. So none of that could happen. So we just decided we'll run away to Vegas and get married and do a really mad thing and get Elvis to sing at the ceremony and all that stuff. And we had a pink limousine.
Yes. We stayed at the MGM.
Yeah.
And we just did the Vegas thing.
So we done all the foolish stuff for about a tenth of the price of what it would have cost to get married in the UK. Yeah. So that was some of the factors.
So Michelle Buschnick asked again, where exactly did we get married? So obviously Vegas. What was the chapel called? I can't remember now.
No, it was the...
We'll put it up in the description. And she also asked, did we elope? Well, not necessarily. We didn't elope, but we did tell Nick's parents we were going on holiday to Mogadishu.
Which they weren't totally convinced about. But
no.
There you
go. So Lorry Montcalm asks, how many years have we been married?
So we got married in 2016, December the 4th. Thank you.
Well done.
So we've been married for 6 years, obviously, in December.
Yes.
Yeah. Barbara Scott and Lorry Montcalm again, and Sarah Cross says, do you have any children? Well, I do. I have two. I have a son and a daughter, 28 and 30-ish, around there. Yeah,
you have one child from.
My son has a son, so I'm a grandfather as well. They got busy lives in the UK, doing their thing, and busy careers as well. So we're hoping they'll be coming out soon because COVID's messed things up a lot.
We haven't had the travel abilities, obviously, with COVID. So
yeah. Okay, Sarah Cross again. Is your name Andrea or Angie? Explain that one.
It depends on... My actual name is Andrea, but Ange is just a shortened thing. It's like a little...
It's like shortened for Andrea, A-N-D-R-E-A. The shortened version would be And. Doesn't quite work.
No.
And? Or Andy. Well, that would be awful.
No.
So, yeah.
So Ange,
so they're confused.
Oh, there's many other things.
Yeah, Oi always works.
Yeah.
Oh, tea,
yes, yeah.
Okay, TemV again, and Barbara Scott from Portugal, and Karen Sturt Smith. What did you both do previously for work? Well, we've sort of answered that, but
we also, prior to coming out here, Nick had started up his own business, and he had worked in the Falklands. And there was an opportunity for me to go down, but my work at the time wouldn't allow me a sabbatical or a period of time off. So I had the great pleasure of handing in my notice, and I then joined Nick
the company.
In the company. So prior to coming out here, we ran our own little construction business.
Basically, we were mainly doing houses and gardens, landscaping, things like that, for several small companies in the southwest of England. And obviously the Falkland stuff was some quite big companies.
Yeah, that was a military contract, which was
we had a military contract, which was absolutely great. And if any of you guys from the Falklands are watching, hello.
Yeah, it's a fabulous place to visit.
Yeah, so and attached to that, or you guys asked, our motivation to move here is pretty basic. Yeah, we had the opportunity to retire at 50 years old. In Portugal, we have, we'd invested a lot of money we'd made into property. Sorry about that. So we invested a lot of the money we'd made with our own business into property. I had some inheritance property which we've altered, and enough to give us a small income, which basically we, started us off and got us living here. So the motivation to move here was pretty basic. Oh, sorry. Okay, from Tim V, Barbara Scott, and from Portugal, and Karen Sturt Smith. One of the questions asked by you guys was, what was our motivation? Or it was Karen. What was our motivation to move here? Basically, the chance to retire early. That was our basic motivation. Plus beautiful weather.
Yeah, and also, I mean, I'd lost my mum. She's a week into 61st birthday, and it sort of hit home that if you don't do something, then you never will.
So we didn't want to spend the rest
20 years working for half an hour
20 more years, yeah. Yeah, basically we thought if we didn't do it now, we'd be forever going, what if? So we just did it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Through caution to the wind.
Yay! Michelle Buschnick says, how much have we travelled before making Portugal our home? Pretty extensively, really. We've done obviously America, Thailand, Italy several times, most of Europe, to be honest.
Although we'd never been to Portugal until we came here to view properties, which is a bit weird.
Yeah, a bit weird. We looked at France, moving to France and stuff like that wasn't really our scene, just because of some of the French laws and things.
Yeah. But also we're a little bit further south here now, so again the weather is just such a big part of moving here. So
yeah, we've sort of travelled extensively and seen bits of life. I've worked all over the world really, and this just seems to fit here. So
and I don't particularly feel like having to travel now I'm living here. It's not I must take 2 weeks to go somewhere. It's like I just love it here.
Yeah, it's like a permanent holiday.
It is, it certainly is.
Apart from the amount of work we're doing, but there you go.
Yeah.
So Tim V, I hope that's right, has said, give us an explanation to your tattoo. So it all sort of ties in with the stuff about us. My tattoo, really white pale arm there. So it's basically the Korean flag, with a black belt taekwondoist in the centre, which is me. So I've been a black belt for many years now. Obviously I'm not teaching anymore, but it may change. And inside the guy is obviously parts of Vegas, palm trees and cards and
dice or chips.
Dice and chips and stuff. So it's all about
your life.
Yeah, basically getting a black belt. The Korean flag is obviously for Taekwondo, represents Taekwondo. And that's it basically. And the inside of the guy here just represents where we got married. Simple as that. Unless you want to see the rest.
The ones you can show. Oh me, Riverbent, and well, Sandra Flesh. She said, Andrea, you're looking 10 years younger. So would you recommend hip replacement surgery? And River asked about the surgery. Well, I wouldn't recommend the surgery, but whether it does make me look any younger is no comment from you. The surgery itself, obviously, I just had such fantastic treatment. Unfortunately, I reacted to the anaesthetic, but apart from that, I couldn't ask for, the whole process. My leg I have no hip pain. The muscle area is still a little tender, and I I can't hop on that leg terribly well, so if I have to put a sock on it, I have to sit down to put that sock on. But apart from that, it's all looking really well. The scar's healing up really nicely, and touch wood, all going good.
And
so
stop moaning. Oh, sorry. And last one about ourselves, sort of. Laurie Montcalm has asked about my chest lung thing. Is it asthma, COPD, or is it trade related? A bit of all. I haven't got asthma. I've got a bit of COPD, which was initially diagnosed a few years ago, COPD. But I've recently been diagnosed here, and I think in the UK a little bit. I've got bronchiectasis quite badly, which is a disease which affects the main bronchial tubes going down into your lungs. Basically, the walls of them have got thicker and hardened, and I can't clear mucus from my lungs so well, so I'm prone to chest infections. It's probably down to trade-related, dust, cement dust, silicon dust.
we're working in sewage treatment works. You had pneumonia, double pneumonia.
Yeah, I had pneumonia when I was a child, so it's all a bit chest related stuff. Smoking for 33 years really didn't help either, which my only regret in life is smoking.
Yeah.
I can honestly say I've been through a divorce and everything, but I don't regret that really, all that. I wouldn't have two wonderful kids if I didn't, but the smoking is my biggest regret, and it's given me issues to deal with for the rest of my life. So, but it's okay.
Don't do it, kids.
Don't do it. Yeah. So it's sort of COPD, bronchiectasis, and I've also got a little bit of, because of that infection I get regularly. I've got a autoimmune disease thing going on, which occasionally gives me stupid spots and stuff. But yeah, things are much better here.
Yeah.
Because of vitamin D and everything.
And just, it's warmer. You don't get the dampness so much. We're not constantly living in it.
It's a very dry atmosphere.
Yeah, so it's lovely here. So that's the first part done.
Okay, guys. So basically, the next question from
Barbara Scott. This is about us sort of leaving the UK and moving here. So what made us retire and move to Portugal? Sort of answered a little bit in the last one. Just the opportunity, we just grabbed it. We just had to do it. It's one of those things.
We had a bit of an income coming in, so we thought Portugal is one of the cheapest places to live in Europe, basically. So we thought, we'll go for it and, see how it goes. I mean, it got to the stage that if I did have to, once we've spent all the money, which we've done really easily, if I did have to work to earn some money, to bring some money in.
You've got a trade.
To top up what I've got. I've got a trade. So, I can always fall back on that.
It's not something that we want to do, so we do have a fairly tight rein on things anyway.
Yeah.
So. We have this is just, I love this question, Auntie Tutu. Now, she lives in Hawaii, and she's asked us, what was it actually like to live in Cornwall, and why did we leave? Because she's got this idea that how Cornwall is.
If you see all the pictures and advertising of Cornwall,
it's fabulous.
It is a fabulous
and
place.
It's
the most beautiful place in the UK to live, without question.
And
sandy beaches.
We did originally look to buy a plot, and it was just everything. It was just so expensive. It really, for an acre, they wanted £140,000. There was a planning permission for a new build house, which when we costed it would have been nearly £300,000.
Yeah.
And there was just so many restrictions.
Unaffordable, and if we did buy that and worked hard to pay the mortgage, etc., we'd still be working. We wouldn't have been able to retire. So we chose here because the income, your expenditures are a lot less. It's cheaper to live here. I wouldn't say necessarily food and everything's cheaper, but it's just the cost of living. It is cheaper. So.
But also you get a feel, and that is a big thing. That the stress has completely, irrelevant of the fact I've gone completely grey now, but the stress is just non-existent here compared to what we were. All right, we were running our own business as well, which obviously had stress, but But yeah, Cornwall as a county is beautiful. The coast is fabulous, ever changing.
They do have slightly more rain than we have here, though.
Yes, that's the other thing. The sunny days here are comparable to the rainy days there.
Yeah, not quite 300, but close to it.
It's close to it, yes.
Yeah. And on the same sort of line, Julie Sohn has asked if we are planning on leaving Cornwall next month, what list of essentials would we have? Great question.
Yeah.
Tea bags.
Tea bags. Oh,
without question. Tea bags, you can get tea bags here, but they're quite expensive and they're not.
You don't get the big boxes of tea bags, it's like 20.
It's the brands as well, isn't it?
Well,
it's
yeah.
Type of thing. So black tea is the what every
it's the life
what
of
every
Nick.
Englishman drinks, so to speak, or every British, you know.
It's a nice cup of tea.
Yeah, so definitely tea, and what else?
Swede seeds.
Swedes, yeah. You can't buy swede seeds here for love nor money. I know we could get them on Amazon, etc., but I think
you can buy turnips, as in the little white nabu turnips. But when we make a proper Cornish pasty,
you need Swedes.
Has to be a Swede,
without doubt. Apart from that, there's essentials, if that's what you mean, for a living. Nothing else. Tea bags and Swedes. We're simple. Everything else you can get here. You know, you can change your lifestyle to suit wherever you're living. It's easy as that.
Yeah, it's a bit like I made HP sauce, or a variety of HP sauce. It's not something that we have to have.
Yeah.
You know, it's something that Nick likes, a bit of brown sauce on his eggs.
Like it a bit saucy.
A bit saucy.
Yeah.
So we just adapt, you know, you just adapt to what's there.
So Sunny Rock Victor says, he has asked, what made you choose Portugal and this region in particular? We chose Portugal. I think we've mentioned we've never been here before, but we just fell in love with the place.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
We fell in love with the cost of living as well, which is great. And
this region is, and especially here where we are, it's the granite.
We're sat on a big granite slab of rock here, which is sort of reminiscent of where we came from in Cornwall.
It's the radon fix.
Yeah, we need that radon, man. But yeah, it's just, and it's so peaceful here. So, you know, there's no traffic noise. There's nothing. Central Portugal is very rural.
Yeah.
The type of people here are
very rural.
Very rural.
Yeah.
Farmers, and that's what we're both from farming stock. So it's like a home from home, but slightly different language.
And also, it's like you don't get many olive trees or oranges. I've got a bee in my hair.
Yeah. Sharon Ahern, life in Cornwall and how you moved to Portugal. Well, life in Cornwall, we sort of explained it. We had a construction company. Yeah, and sort of getting out of the rat race as well.
Definitely.
You know, we had the chance of doing everything in one foul swoop, if you like. So that was good. So 2L84, goodbye. What brought you to a point where you felt that you needed to make a move, and what convinced you on Portugal?
Just look around.
What brought us to the point? It was nothing really. It wasn't. You know, it was just a...
Well, it was definitely a case of, I think, if we don't do it now, we never will. And there's always that regret. You know, lucky we do have the property that we currently rent out in Cornwall. That's our main source of income. And again, that's something that I would overly stress is it was important to us to have a steady source of income, you know, before moving out here. There's no guarantee of work, and there's no guarantee that, you know, somebody's just going to turn around and go, oh, have a few £100,000, dollars, euros, what have you, just because you look nice. You know, we just had the opportunity, and we just thought we've got to do it.
Yeah.
We always have that to fall back on if we need to, but it's not something that we're planning on having to do.
Property Rabbit said, was there one thing you wish you had done or researched over and above everything else before making the move? Matriculating vehicles and vehicles in general. That's the one thing that we wish we'd looked into a bit better.
And actually,
hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Pursued a bit more rigorously, perhaps.
So basically, when you move here, well, when we moved here, things may have changed now because of Brexit, etc. But when we moved here 3 years ago, we had 12 months to get the vehicles matriculated. UK vehicles matriculated, and matriculated means registered.
To Portugal, so with Portuguese plates.
With Portuguese plates, yeah, and all the hoops we'd have to jump through that. We could have done that had we not spent so much time trying to get a roof over our heads, and we left it too long, and then Brexit messed things up a bit as well. We'd always planned to sell this is a question later on, I think, but my truck and the horse box you see in our opening sequence, I took that back to the dealer I bought it from at. New.
Yes, Bedlam asked what happened to
That's
the lorry
Bedlam,
and trailer.
yeah. Bedlam asked that, and basically I took that back to the dealer and got a good deal for it. We always intended to sell that back in the UK anyway, because we had no further use for it here, really.
Yeah,
and it would be an expensive vehicle to matriculate and keep running here. And then we had a Isuzu D-Max, and
so nice.
that's the one. It was really nice. It had everything on it, and that's the one we wish we'd matriculated.
It's perfect out here.
But
hey ho.
So we didn't. So that's gone back to the UK. Andrew's dad took it back before MOT ran out, and all that stuff. So now we have a.
Yeah, we're in the process of trying to sell that one. It's just because it had been over here a period of time. We then had to go through HMRC for taxation purposes, and then DVLA. So government bodies are the same all over the world. People say Portuguese red tape, but
yeah. So what's this?
Eva Blocher.
Eva Blocher.
Oh, sorry.
I would say Blocher.
Okay.
Has asked, do you plan on staying in Portugal for the rest of your life?
If they'll have us.
If they'll have us, yeah. Yeah, definitely. We don't intend going anywhere else. This is just lovely, you know.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yep. Definitely staying here. And
Anadori.
As if you had a chance to move to Portugal earlier in life, would you have done it? Yes. With hindsight, like we say, yes, definitely. I think financially we wouldn't have been able to, but if we had the chance, yes, we would have.
Yeah.
It's just the way circumstances worked. You know, we've never been here before, and then the first time we visit, we buy a house. Crazy, I know, but it all worked out in the end, thank God.
Yeah.
And my playhouse, hello Morton. At what time has each of you been the most in doubt whether this Portuguese project was all that smart?
No.
Never been in doubt.
No. You sort of question your sanity a couple of times when you're sat in a cold bath in 2 inches of just about lukewarm water with a jug pouring it over you, thinking, why is there more water running down the inside of the walls than the sat in my bath?
The conditions were fairly bad when we...
But once we got past that, that was, no, there's been no doubt whatsoever.
That was Morton asked that question?
Yes.
Yeah, I've worked with Morton, and I just doubt my sanity after trying to teach Morton how to build walls.
Yeah.
Only joking. Yeah.
Brilliant. Right, that's part 2 done and dusted.
New location coming soon.
Ta-da!
Okay guys, we're just walking to our next location for this Q&A session, and I just thought I'd turn the camera around and show you some of what we got. Hello Mad Dog. So this is some of the woodland and the granite.
And wild fennel.
And fennel, wild fennel, lots of.
Still coming up.
Yeah. Right guys, I've just noticed we've got a swarm of bees in our pomegranate. I don't know how close I can get. I don't know what they're actually doing, but
you see them there?
yeah, I know. There's a thing.
Yeah, it's a cluster of them. That's what
I better rescue them now.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to stop filming, and I'm going to go and collect this box of bees.
What?
This very same thing at you and Chris?
No, a couple of days ago.
Before. Okay, you recording?
Yep.
Weirdly, found
really
this
close.
big hive. Sorry.
Because I'm zoomed in on the...
So, I've got the box. I know some of you advised against it, but I'm going to be leaving the box here. We'll go for it that way. There is a chance these could be RBs, only because we painted the boxes today or this morning to do a split on one of our hives tomorrow. Obviously they might have jumped the gun, so we'll see.
Ooh, a bit wobbly.
So this is perfect. I'll do that and go ripping. Thanks guys. She likes. Hopefully Queenie's in there. We'll put the lid on. And the landing board.
Just to give it a bit more, because the bees are on that sort of level, aren't they?
Yeah, they're fanning.
They're fanning.
Ta-da.
They're doing the little waggle dance.
Lots of them.
Good.
Yeah, in fact, I can count 1, 2. There's 30 or 40 bees.
Shaking their tail feathers.
Yeah. I would like that to be more level, but
Well, we'll come down tonight, tape it.
come down tonight because they've all gone in there then, and they may well have been our own bees. Anyway, you still recording?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Back to
the Q&A. Okay.
Okay, so just a general costs and bits and pieces segment. Vicky Mourinho asked how much we originally paid for the farm. Well, we had a maximum budget of 100,000, which allowed us, what was it?
40,000 to do it up.
In,
Yeah.
you know, as our doing up stuff. So that's what, you know, we didn't quite go to that, thankfully, but yeah, it was.
Yeah, we put in many offers, etc., etc., but we ended up paying 98 for the farm.
Yeah. But we are in apparently quite an exclusive area as well, which we didn't realise at the time. But
Alpedrina's really posh, apparently, so that's good.
Even though we're
good.
here.
Yeah, so 98, and then we spent much more than 40 doing it up. Obviously, vehicles we've sold and things, and
It's helped.
other
to
things we've
taste
sold.
Stuff.
Yeah, so we've been able to add things on. You know, the games room, the pool table,
The pond.
the pond, all that
Oh,
stuff.
just general, yeah. I mean, the thing is as well, we had, you know, we had to get the roof done, and we had to make it habitable. So we had that money for doing that, and so everything else we're doing now realistically is extras, which we're just doing. And again, like we said, we're here for the long term, so it's not something that we had to do within a set period of time.
Yeah.
We made sure we could live in it, and we had a habitable bedroom within the first sort of 4 or 5 weeks. So
Yeah, 5 weeks.
yeah, so that was quite a major thing for us. So
Yeah. Trevor Windle has asked a ballpark figure, sort of what sort of pounds it costs to move here. I don't know exactly what you mean by that. Whether you mean actual moving costs, because we moved everything ourselves. So
Yeah.
it just cost us the ferry prices. It cost us about £1,000 to move 2 vehicles.
but you did a trip prior when we came
3.
in.
Yeah, sorry. So say 1,500 quid
Yeah,
to move 3 vehicles, towing 2 trailers, 3 pets, because the pets are
Yeah.
a cost as well.
yeah,
And the 2 of us, and most of our worldly belongings.
yes.
Some are still at home.
back in the
Some are
UK.
still back in the UK
Yeah.
at my son's home now.
Still ours officially.
Still ours, but yeah. And yeah,
Yeah.
so about 500 quid per vehicle, realistic.
I think
roughly.
very pricey, because that was the we would always use the Plymouth Santander,
Yeah.
but the first trip, because of the times that runs, Nick had to
I
go
drove
to
down through
Portsmouth.
France.
Yeah, which
Never
was
again.
a nightmare,
Never.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, so Wayne Monks has asked about supermarket prices and the best deals and are they hard to find. Well, food costs here are, I'd say, comparable to the UK. Really.
Round about the same,
Yeah.
a little bit cheaper, but
On some things, more expensive on others. Things
pork
like,
is really cheap, beef is really expensive. So
but also your personal, like shampoos, washing bits and pieces, they are actually quite expensive. So, you know, it's like...
it's just started to rain. It's just lovely.
But we find, I mean, we shop majority of bits and pieces at Lidl's, but for construction, there's the local merchants are better, you know, like Brico-Marché or Max Mat. Don't buy plasterboard or stuff from there, you know, use a local...
Use a local builder's merchant if you want building materials, but the question's about supermarket prices, so yeah, we sort of covered that. They're about the same as the UK.
Yeah.
Lidl's, obviously, same as the UK, are cheaper, not the best quality meat and stuff. We buy our meat here from Intermarché, especially Intermarché Fundal,
yeah,
Intermarché Corvilla are just
good-
top-notch. Butchers are
butchers,
awesome. But yeah, you know, you get what you pay for, basically,
Yeah.
so there you go. Next up,
Wayne Monks and Francine De Silva have asked about what do we pay for healthcare and was obtaining cover straightforward. Well, we are residents.
we're permanent residents here, so we are in the Portuguese health system. We've registered with the Centro de Saúde, and any hospital stuff we've had done, my lungs, Angie's hip, have been done in the bigger hospital in Cornwall, and it's raining quite hard now. But I don't know why, it's blue sky.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So they're not...
healthcare is free for us. Well, it's not free, we pay taxes.
Yeah, we pay taxes, plus you do pay for things like your x-rays. It's a nominal charge, and also when you see a consultant, there's I think it's a €7
Your first...
fee, isn't
Yeah,
it?
your
So-
first time you see a consultant or a doctor about something, you end up, for us anyway, it's been €7 every time. But the next time you see them, it's free. So it's just a primary consultation fee, I think, just to register and all that stuff. And yeah, we've paid. Occasionally, you pay for an X-ray. I've actually paid €1.83 for an X-ray. Just a random figure. I don't know where they get it from.
And I've paid. I think it was
$3.40 something.
Yeah, it's been.
And yeah, just things like that. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, you can go down the private healthcare route. We haven't, so unfortunately, we can't advise you on that. But it just means you get seen quicker, and you can specify where you can go. I think so.
So another question on costs. Here's a big one. On average, not including renovation and materials, what is a weekly and monthly living cost for two adults, or weekly living cost?
That is such a open-ended
Yeah,
question.
I mean, do you want to eat caviar every day, or do you want to eat baked beans? Oh, baked beans are quite expensive.
yeah,
here,
baked beans are very expensive.
basically, you could live really frugally, the two of us, on €400 a month.
That wouldn't include the animals.
No,
so there's
just
no
two
animal
people.
food,
Yeah,
and
you could live on that. You know, if you were fairly frugal, didn't drink too much beer, etc., etc., €400 a month. We're on about 600-700 a month, and yeah, we're on about 600-700 a month euros, and yeah, we live perfectly comfortably on that, and that's for the dogs, the cats, and the chickens and turkeys and everything. So yep, I don't know what the dogs are going mad around here for some reason. I think it's because it's raining.
yeah, and yeah. So again, that's you can spend really what you can afford. That's the simplest answer really. Tenvian HHO Drive.
Wow. We bring appliances and countertop from the UK. We brought the appliances.
Washing
our
machine,
big fridge freezer, washing machine, and dishwasher, all that stuff we brought
kettle,
over.
toaster. We just changed the plugs
Yeah, just change the plugs over, no problem at all. And the countertops or the worktops
in the kitchen.
we bought here because it was such a bargain. It was unbelievable. We had 10 meters of worktop, granite, solid granite. I think it's 38mm thick,
with an upstand.
with an upstand around it and a little breakfast bar bit, and the whole lot fitted was €900. So
Yeah,
we were
laminate worktops were more expensive.
yeah. So we just had to go for it.
Yeah.
Anyway, the rain's getting harder for no reason because it's blue sky. But we're gonna quit this location and see you in the next one. Okay, final section of our
Life in Portugal.
Our varied spots of angles and stuff. Anyway, final bit. What's actually living here?
General odd questions.
Judith Taylor Mayo has said, "How is your Portuguese?"
Muito mal, muito mal.
So I can hold a basic conversation, which I'm going to have to do in a minute because we're getting blocks delivered. But yeah, you know, fairly basic, but it's coming along. It's everything's starting to click now, so it's a very difficult language to learn. But yeah, I'm getting it really well. Unfortunately, Ange hasn't had the contact to learn it much, have you?
No, and I think, you know, I was sort of doing okay-ish, and then with COVID you just have no interaction, and then my confidence just went straight down.
But I've been helping friends, Portuguese friends, on building sites, etc. So you pick up a lot of swear words. Sorry, you pick up a lot of Portuguese that way. So I know most
local dialect.
Yeah, I know most of the
swear words.
I know most of the terminology for nearly everything to build a house, etc.
Yeah, which is,
and plus, you know, basic conversational Portuguese. I can speak to a neighbour, ask him, you know, when it's going to rain and things like that. You know, general chit chat stuff.
Yeah,
and the price of everything's expensive and all that stuff.
Direct neighbours have no English at all. It's a really rural.
So and I find that a really good way of learning, basically. Yeah. So next up, Neil Honey. Hi, Neil. If we didn't have a YouTube channel, and associated funding like coffee and you know, things like that, paying us some money because we're earning a little bit of money from YouTube.
Could we survive in Portugal for the rest of our lives?
Yes, easily.
Because
quite easily.
We made sure that we had a source of income before you know, the YouTube thing was.
Yeah, it's just well, so we can add stuff to the farm and buy. You know, more fencing materials and stuff. If we didn't have YouTube, all that would take a longer time to get to our end product of a nice little farm being self-sufficient. Obviously, to be self-sufficient costs money, and we could have got there on what you know, on the income we have coming in, but get there a little bit quicker and be happier sooner, which is always good. The YouTube money is helping with that, but
and also this farm was completely abandoned for over 15 years. The land was
so it needs
all the trees, everything was just completely.
It needs a lot of work and it needs a lot of love and attention.
And again, that's something we sort of reiterated. You know, we've had a few people ask about buying land and stuff, and it really is something about just because 30 hectares is cheap. Don't buy it.
30 hectares is an awful lot to look after.
Yeah,
I mean,
you know,
crazy.
It's really getting over the it's big and cheap, we'll buy it. Don't. I really recommend you don't do that. So
TemV or TemMV, when we travel back to the UK, is it difficult to find animals and house sitters? Well, I think we've answered this. Haven't we answered this previously?
No, I don't think so.
No, okay. No, it's not difficult because we don't.
We've travelled back separately, and
we got, you know, Max is we're sort of rehabilitating Max. He can only be fed by us.
And it took me nearly 3 months to get to that stage. So to expect a house sitter,
it would be very difficult. But he is getting very good now with neighbours. Our neighbours that drive past, our Portuguese neighbours, can actually touch him because they've been feeding him little tidbits and stuff. But well done, Jose and Alzira.
Yeah,
he's getting quite friendly with them, so he's learning that not everyone has to be bitten.
And he's really good on the lead with meeting people and animals and stuff.
Yeah, no, I've got no worries about him being on the lead. He's absolutely fine.
But again, we wouldn't like to take the risk. It's not fair on bringing somebody in and expecting them to feed Max or take him out for a walk when, you know, after just a couple of hours of meeting them, it's not fair on either Max or the person. So so you know, a couple of times we have been back. It's been separate travel. So
and all right, next up, Marlene Gueron. Have any of your friends and family decided to move to Portugal?
So the sun's shining.
Yeah, it's good. And any thoughts on buying properties and fixing them up for flips or rentals? From us, no. we sort of trying to steer away from that. You know, I've done, God, nearly 40 years, well, 30 years. You know,
Yeah,
over 30 years of that sort of stuff. So
yeah.
We're trying to steer away from it, but you know, if the people are in dire need, then we might help out.
Yeah.
But like Cindy, basically.
But the thing is, you know, actually buying anything, you know,
buying
again,
and doing
you
a
need to
flip.
have a fund to
Yes,
do
you need
that.
the money to do that, and we don't have any. So
you know, we don't. We bought this place outright, so we don't have any major debt. So you know, and we don't want to have a mortgage. You know, we that was a big part of here. You know, we just wanted to be completely.
Yeah. None of our family and friends have decided to do the move yet, but
my dad is.
your dad's on very close to it. Yeah, we don't want him too close.
Oh,
No, yeah, he's thinking about it a little bit. So
you never know.
You never know. You never know.
Nobody else is as mad.
And Bedlam, I think we've already answered this. He's asked what happened to the lorry and trailer shown in the video. Basically, I think we have answered this. We sold them back in the UK. To the dealer I bought them from, basically.
Well, the trailer went to.
And the trailer we sold to a friend in the next village over.
As a goat house, isn't it?
Yes, basically, yeah.
Damn, we should have kept it.
Yes, maybe. Winter Biker and Jason Alden. What are you going to do with the Renault 4s? Well...
Yes, Mr. Saunders.
You had to bring that up. Basically... The red one, I've already started stripping it down, and we're going to use that as a sort of a mobile trailer for moving stock around or whatever. I'm going to put a hitch on it and get it so I can tow it behind the tractor. Because as you know, Renaults have independent suspension all round, Renault 4s. So that's that one, and the other one, the white one, this year.
I'm saying that.
Sorry. This year I will MOT it, get it running, MOT it, and it's already taxed, and that'll be on the road as our second vehicle, basically. Yeah, I would like to restore it. I'd like to restore it fully concourse, but we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll
that'll
see.
be a...
That's a lot of money, so
yeah.
I think we'll just MOT it and get it on the road at the minute, and that'll
make sure it works.
Yeah, and Sarah Cross, or Gross, is it Gross? Cross, that's definitely Cross. Sarah Cross, you've asked, who is your nearest YouTuber? I suppose it's either Cindy Vine, she's fairly near, or Ken and Gina at OK Portugal are about the same distance, but they're on a lot faster road, so they're further away.
But it's quicker.
At the same time.
Yeah, same time to get there.
Travelling time. So I'd say, Cindy Vine is our nearest. And then we've got Theo and B, who are 45 minutes away, really. The other side. And then Frankie on the road.
Just past.
Just past Kennedy. Yeah. So they're 20 odd minutes. So yeah, our nearest is Cindy Vine. Ruth Constantino and Bedlam again. Will your circle of Central Portugal YouTubers ever join forces with each other? Well, we've sort of joined forces with a few now. And
well, Central Portugal's actually quite a big,
massive area.
There's a big area, so even with.
So we got Andrea and Omar in Coimbra, which is a good hour and a bit from us. I mean, there's Nick at Destino Portugal. I don't know where they are actually.
No, there's Indigo.
But I think they're nearer. Yeah, Indio Escape, Andrea, and I think they're nearer Indio Escape. So it's a big area. Luke and Sarah are Castella Branco. We might be seeing them soon. Obviously, we're sort of having pigs from the same litter, so we're coming from different areas, and it's possible because I believe that everyone's on YouTube. It's not a competition. We should all help each other, and we should all help each other put out better content all the time.
Like we should be putting it now.
To make it better for you guys.
Yeah.
And Rachel Harris, she said, is there a story behind the beehives and what they're called? Well, the story behind the beehives, to start with is that we've always wanted bees. And with some help from Evie's Bees to start with, and we bought all our equipment, all our hives from them. They helped us set up, they helped us learn a lot about the bees, etc. So thanks guys. We don't see much of them now because we sort of learnt enough, and we're sort of getting there on our own now. So it's we're sort of almost self-sufficient. Sometimes we need some help, but we're catching hives now and all sorts of weird stuff. So that's strange. And the names,
just because it begins with the letter B.
So any female name beginning with B, and that's what they're called. So yeah, we're a bit limited for choice for that, or scratching our heads.
We only want 10 hives.
9 or 10 hives at most.
Yeah,
so that'll do
it's
us.
not too bad. And yeah, Judith Taylor Mayo asked how we got rid of the ants in the hive. Well, literally just brushed them out. They'll come back.
They're not in the hive, they're on top.
Yeah.
And the reason they're on top is because they can squeeze through the little holes on the edges,
on the edge of the
and
lid.
on the top, because it's nice and warm for them to put their eggs on. You've seen in the videos, lots of eggs on top, lots of worker ants looking after the eggs. So you just brush them off, and eventually they'll go and go somewhere else.
They're not getting actually in the hive, but each time we do an inspection, if there's if there's ants on there, we'll just brush them off, and they'll just have to work that a little bit harder to look after their eggs.
Yeah, and Beth Stayhauer, I should imagine, something like that. Why are there no lawnmowers in Portugal? Well, we have a mower that goes behind the tractor. I have a ride-on mower, and we have a hand mower as well. But I suspect what you're getting at is everyone uses strimmers instead of mowers.
It's the lay of the land.
Yeah, the land is very up and down here. You have lots of granite rocks and stuff.
Yeah, you wouldn't be running.
Rocks aren't very good with lawnmowers.
No.
We can mow some of the paddocks we have with the mower because we know, there are no rocks there. But initially, it's probably you're probably better off using a strimmer anyway, because when the spring comes and the rain comes, everything's wet and you can't mow it anyway. And by the time it's dry enough, it's rained today, but by the time it's dry enough to use a mower, the grass is this long. So strimmers are about the best option. And none of us have nice, neat, tidy lawns. It's not a thing here. Maybe there might be a few in the towns and stuff, but you don't see many, because in the summer you have to water everything to keep it green. So you end up with just scrubby grass and. And that's basically why there are no mowers in Portugal.
Well, they are. They're probably very little used.
Yeah. Go on then.
So, D. Eugene B. asked what kind of beer we were drinking and did we make it. Well, that was actually
go on. It's
a craft beer from Lidl.
Yeah.
They do quite a nice little selection. Sadly, then we did not make it, but I bought some hops.
So we have lots of hops. We're going to grow around this trellis this year.
So grown.
Start this year. And I told him the idea of growing barley as well. But I know you can buy sacks of malted barley.
Yeah, I think
we'll be making our own beer very soon. Maybe because I can make beer. I've made lots of beer in the past, and it's always been successful. Whereas my winemaking so far isn't that successful.
No, very good. Good,
we go back to beer and cider. We can do, obviously, because that's in my blood.
Well, Carpe Diem asked any plans to do cider. Well, we've done
Carpe
Perry.
Diem. Yes, we've done Perry, which was relatively successful, although not the best looking stuff because the pectins, it was very cloudy.
We actually only had one apple tree here anyway, and that had been fairly poorly.
It's really badly eaten out in the middle. So
there's our train.
Oh, it's a freight train.
Oh, I was going to say so we get really easily distracted by the train. If you did that, you could see where the track is. So we've planted some more apple trees, and we're hoping to do some.
We'll do cider soon.
Yeah.
And Marlene Giron. What's your favourite quiche to make, Ange? Any quiche at all.
I do like the sweet corn and broccoli. That's just a nice.
It's just a good mix of flavours.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's about it. Sorry if we've missed anyone's questions. I mean, yeah, it's a long process getting this sorted out into categories and things. So sorry if we've missed anyone. Thank you ever so much for all your comments. It's been absolutely fantastic.
Really good.
And it's been a great way to celebrate 10,000 subscribers.
Yeah, thank you.
And let's keep going. 100,000 next, and then 1 million, and then the world.
And the world.
Yeah, thanks guys. It's just been an awesome experience so far, and hopefully we're getting better.
But the thing is as well, I was going to say, if there are any, you know, ongoing, any more questions, feel free to put them in the comments, because we will answer them directly in the comments.
Yeah.
And then at some stage we may do another one. But hopefully this has answered a few questions that have been knocking around.
Yeah.
I've just seen actually there's one from Rui Lorenzo about the our nest boxes.
Yeah.
So,
another question from Rui Lorenzo. He says, what's the occupancy rate of the nest boxes that we've used, and what uses them? Well, we've put out 4 boxes, and one of them might have a
blue tip, or
what are they called? Coal tip.
Coal tip.
One of them might have a coal tip, and the other 3 we don't think are occupied. So we may have to revisit that, where we're situating them, what they're made of, and I'm toying with the idea for next spring, making cork ones so big around out of cork trees, and keep it more natural, make the hole and everything, you know, make it a bit different, and see how that goes.
More rugged.
More, yeah. But a bit more natural looking. I think that may well be putting off the birds here.
I mean, we've plenty. All we can hear at the moment is
birds all the time.
Yeah.
But we're trying. You know, the more birds nesting, the better. We have lots of brambles and stuff that we haven't cut down because they've got blackbird nests in and things like that. So we do always check beforehand. But yeah, occupancy of the nest boxes we put up 1 out of 4, which is not good. So we're going to readdress that, relook at, you know, get some more advice from people, and yeah, maybe make cork ones. We know we'd like hoopos as well, and we know they're good for eating the caterpillars.
We know they're in the area because we do hear them.
Yeah, and well, we've got them here, so we'll see. We'll get into that. Yeah. But that's it. Thanks, guys, and thanks for watching. And
see you next video.
See you in the next one. Bye. Cool.